Welcome back, everyone, to the Wisdom of Laozi.
Great to be back. We're here again, digging into ancient wisdom, hoping it sheds some light on our pretty hectic modern lives.
Absolutely.
Last time, we got into that fascinating paradox in Laozi's chapter 22. We really grappled with it, didn't we? That idea, bent becomes whole, crooked becomes straight.
Such a counterintuitive thought.
Totally, just flies in the face of our whole hustle culture.
Yeah.
You know, that constant message, push harder, be louder, don't show weakness.
Never yield.
Exactly. And Laozi comes along and suggests, real strength, maybe even wholeness. It's actually found in humility, in flexibility, like in that sort of yielding, advancing by retreating.
Overcoming the rigid with the soft.
But let's be real for a second. That promise, it sounds beautiful, right? But it can feel a bit hard to pin down.
A little abstract, maybe.
Yeah. Embrace what seems broken. The universe makes you whole.
Yeah.
It resonates. It feels true somewhere deep down. But then you step back into the real world.
Deadlines, competition.
Right. Where the loudest voice seems to win, where being direct and forceful feels like the only way to get things done, you start to wonder.
Is this soft approach just wishful thinking, a psychological trick?
Or is there something real behind it, some unseen power, maybe a fundamental law about how the world actually responds? I mean, what's the solid reason to believe that if you choose humility, the world won't just walk all over you?
Right. Where's the proof? Why trust this weakness?
We need that solid ground, that foundation for trusting this isn't weakness at all, but some kind of real potent force.
And that's exactly where chapter 23 of the Tao Te Ching comes in. It's like Lao Tzu knew we'd have these doubts.
He anticipated it.
Seems like it. He shifts gears. He moves from telling us how to act, like in chapter 22, to starting to show us why this whole counterintuitive thing actually works.
Okay.
He's not just giving advice. He's laying down like the cosmological foundation for the way. And he starts really simply. Just observe nature. Look at anything violent, flashy, any big burst of power. What do they all have in common?
They don't last.
Exactly. They're short-lived, destined to fizzle out.
Okay, so if the intense stuff, the loud, forceful stuff, fades away, then what does last? What has real staying power?
That's the million-dollar question Lao Tzu raises. And from that observation, he reveals something truly foundational. I think it's one of the core principles in the whole text, the secret about, let's call it sympathetic resonance.
Sympathetic resonance. Okay.
He basically says that whatever energy, whatever vibe, whatever fundamental frequency you send out into the world, the universe mirrors it right back at you.
Whoa. So it's not just in my head.
Not just psychology. It's like a cosmic mirror, reflecting your deepest broadcast.
So this is bigger than just our internal state. It's like a law of physics for existence.
Yeah.
This idea that my thoughts, my intentions, my actions, they're like a magnet shaping my actual fate.
That's the implication.
Wow. So this chapter might actually give us that solid proof, that concrete, almost scientific reason to trust in this unseen power we were looking for.
I think it does. It invites us to see the world less as a series of transactions and more as deep energetic alignment.
Okay. So our mission today is to really dive into that, get into the language, the rhythm Lao Tzu uses, understand this universal law, and see if it really does give us that solid ground for trusting the way.
Let's do it. And to really feel the weight of it, we have to start where Lao Tzu starts.
Right. Quiet the mind, let go of assumptions.
And just listen. Listen to the original text of chapter 23. We're using Philip J. Ivanhoe's translation from 2003. It's very clear, very respected.
Okay, let's listen. Spearing in speech is the natural way. A blustering wind does not last a whole morning. A torrential rain does not last a whole day. Who brings these about? Heaven and earth. If even heaven and earth cannot make things last forever, how much less can human beings? Thus, those who follow the way are one with the way. Those who follow virtue are one with virtue. Those who follow loss are one with loss. Those who are one with the way delights in welcoming them. Those who are one with virtue delights in welcoming them. Those who are one with loss delights in welcoming them. If one's trust is insufficient, one will not be trusted. Okay.
Yay.
Letting those words sink in. What images come up for you? Maybe a hurricane or just a really intense thunderstorm.
Yeah, something powerful, overwhelming.
Totally destructive. Makes you feel tiny. But then,
Yeah.
you think about it, how long did it really last?
A few hours, maybe a day.
Right. It's dramatic. It's a huge burst, but it's over pretty quick. It's fleeting.
And Lao Tzu starts right there, almost quietly, Sparing in speech is the natural way.
And speech here isn't just talking, right?
No, exactly. It's bigger than that. It's a metaphor for any intense, explosive, overly assertive action, any big, forceful burst of energy. And the natural way, That's the Tao, the enduring, fundamental way the universe works.
So the normal state, the enduring state, isn't thunder and lightning.
Nope. According to Lao Tzu, it's a deep quiet, a subtle persistence. And he really drives this home, pointing up at the sky. Metaphorically speaking, a blustering wind does not last a whole morning. A torrential rain does not last a whole day. And then the kicker, who brings these about, heaven and earth? Even they can't make these things last forever.
Wow.
How much less can human beings? Think about that. If even nature's biggest, most overwhelming forces burn out, how can our little frantic outbursts or human dramas possibly expect to last or create anything truly lasting?
It really puts our own efforts into perspective, doesn't it?
Instantly.
It makes me think of the ocean. Tsunami is terrifying. Immense power, incredibly destructive.
For a moment, yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's like a brief, violent cough for the ocean. Under extreme circumstances, the real enduring power isn't the tsunami.
It's the tides.
Exactly. The silent, persistent tides. Day in, day out, century after century, just rising and falling, quietly shaping the land.
Wearing down rock.
Yeah, it's sparing in speech in its own way. Its power isn't in that immediate raw force. It's in the quiet, steady rhythm, the persistence.
That's a perfect analogy.
And our human stuff. Anger, passions, ambitions, all those frantic efforts we make, they feel like those tsunamis sometimes, don't they?
Big splash, then gone.
Yeah, we get that momentary change, maybe some instant gratification. But what really shapes our lives, our destiny in the long run, it's the daily stuff, the quiet, persistent actions, like the tide.
The subtle shifts, the consistency.
It's the consistency, not the intensity. That's what builds real change.
And building right on that, Lao Tzu then drops the core wisdom of the chapter. This universal law of sympathetic resonance, he says. Thus, those who follow the way are one with the way. Those who follow virtue are one with virtue. Those who follow loss are one with loss.
Okay, unpack that. One with.
It's potent. It means if you truly align yourself with the way, the natural flow, you basically merge with it, become part of that flow.
Okay.
If you align yourself with virtue, what's good, constructive, enduring, you become assimilated into virtue.
Makes sense.
And this is crucial, if you devote yourself to loss, actions that go against the way, chaotic, forceful, like that blustering wind, you become assimilated into loss.
So you become what you practice.
Essentially, yes. It's not a judgment from the universe. It's just a natural consequence. The frequency you choose becomes your reality.
Okay, assimilation, becoming one with something. It still sounds a tiny bit mystical. How can we get our heads around that more practically?
Good point. Let's try a modern analogy. Imagine the whole universe is like this vast radio broadcast. Yeah. Infinite channels, all transmitting at once.
Okay, I'm with you.
And your mind, your actions, your intentions, your whole vibe, you're the radio receiver.
Got it.
So think about the channels. There's the channel of the way. It's not loud. It's like the deep background hum of everything. Calm, stable, enduring. The programming is growth, harmony, vitality, that quiet tide.
Right.
Then there's the channel of virtue. That's a clear signal. Focused, constructive. It's when a problem gets solved elegantly, a relationship mends, a project just flows. It's the sound of harmony in action.
Okay.
And then there's the channel of loss. That's just static. Noise, jarring, it's frustration, resentment, anxiety. The programming is conflict, breakdown, energy drain.
Okay.
And here's the punchline. You're not just passively listening, you're the tuner.
Ah.
Your thoughts, words, actions, they turn the dial. Anger, that's yanking the dial straight to static. Kindness, that's a fine adjustment, tuning into clarity.
So I'm choosing the reality I experience. Moment by moment.
That's the idea. You're actively tuning in, and Lao Tzu doubles down on this, emphasizing how neutral and responsive the universe is. He says, those who are one with virtue delights in welcoming them.
Delights in welcoming them. Interesting phrase.
It means if you consciously tune to virtue, act calmly, constructively, sparingly, the universe perfectly reflects that virtue back to you. You gain the way. Harmony, clarity, endurance start showing up. You attract positive stuff.
Okay.
But then the flip side, the warning, those who are one with loss delights in welcoming them.
So the universe welcomes that too.
Just as perfectly, just as impartially. If you tune to loss, act like that blustering wind, impulsive, angry, forceful, and detect, the universe doesn't judge. It just lets you become one with loss. Your life fills with noise, conflict, chaos.
Wow, so the universe is just a perfect mirror. No morality, just reflection.
Exactly. A perfect resonant system. It echoes the frequency you broadcast. What you embody, you become. It's a law, not a judgment.
And he wraps it up with that final warning about trust. That hits hard. If one's trust is insufficient, one will not be trusted.
That's the foundation, isn't it? If your trust, your core belief in this natural power, this resonance, is shaky,
Then you get lack of trust back.
pretty much. If deep down you think only frantic effort works, that the quiet tide stuff is naive, you've already locked your dial onto distrust, onto chaos.
So my belief system actually creates the outcome.
It sets the frequency. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy rooted in not really trusting the way itself.
Okay, wow. This initial read, these analogies, I feel like we're starting to tune our frequency to Laozi's message.
It's a start.
But I feel like there's more here. Deeper layers. What are the political implications? The self-cultivation stuff? What's really hiding behind these simple nature observations?
Exactly. We need to dig deeper into that core wisdom, peel back those layers from centuries of thought.
Let's do it. Let's hit that first big question. Why is being sparing in speech the absolute ultimate law of sustainability?
Right, so the chapter kicks off with this core idea. Sparing in speech is the natural way. Being reserved, economical with words and actions, aligns with nature. And Lao Tzu uses those storms to prove it right.
The blustering wind, the torrential rain.
Yeah. Intense, violent energy releases. Unsustainable by definition. They burn out fast, leave exhaustion behind. It's a metaphor for energy management, really.
And you mentioned this connects to Chapter 5, too.
Absolutely. Chapter 5 says, much speech leads to exhaustion. Better to remain centered. It warns about the downside of too much output. It drains you. Chapter 23 shows the upside of sparing speech. It aligns you with the Tao's sustainable rhythm.
So remaining centered isn't just about inner peace.
It's about conserving energy, reducing unnecessary interference, letting things flow sustainably. They work together, those two chapters.
Gotcha.
And what's really cool is how this simple observation about storms became this multi-layered gem of wisdom over centuries. Thinkers saw it as political advice, a life philosophy, a cosmic law, even a mindfulness technique.
So it evolved.
Yeah, you can trace it from the outside in, from politics to the inner self. So starting with politics, early commentators saw it as a direct warning to rulers.
Don't be a tyrant.
Pretty much. Blustering wind, torrential rain, into tyranny, rash policies, forcing your will. The message, haste cannot last, violence cannot endure. History proves them right, doesn't it? Harsh empires built on force just collapse.
Yeah, they burn out.
So sparing in speech became the ideal of wu-wei non-active governance. Like that conductor you mentioned, subtle guidance, letting things happen naturally. It's the theory behind Chapter 17's effective leader, the one people barely notice.
It's amazing how relevant that still feels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so politics first. What's next?
Then you get thinkers like Wang Bi taking it into philosophy. He made it universal. It's not just negative violence that burns out. Even positive things, if they're too fierce, too sudden, they fade quickly.
Like a supernova.
Yeah.
Brilliant, but brief.
Exactly. Sparing in speech, for Wang Bi, is the ultimate expression of the natural. It's quiet, plain, simple, like the Tao itself. Unassuming, but holding the ultimate enduring truth. It's the unseen power that sustains everything.
Okay, that's a deeper layer.
Then scholars like Su Che in the Song Dynasty created a whole systematic theory around it, using qi, vital energy.
The energy flow idea.
Right. Wind and rain are imbalanced qi, disharmony, like a fever in the body. When the system's out of whack, energy erupts unsustainably.
And he applied that to words.
Directly, sincere words, aligned with reason. They're simple and to the point, clear. Forced words, manipulative, deceptive, dominating. They become convoluted, excessive, untrustworthy, like a fever dream. That's the theory behind why sparing speech works. It's about healthy, balanced energy.
Fascinating. Okay, so system theory.
Then where?
Into mindfulness and inner cultivation with Zen masters like Tao Te Ching, he brought it right inside. Wind and rain outside, just like unsettled energy inside us.
Heated arguments, gossip. Exactly. Uncontrolled outbursts of imbalanced energy. Sparing in speech, then, is the natural result of a calm, peaceful mind, one with the Tao. Cultivation is about calming that inner resentful energy, returning to quiet, becoming the lake, not the storm.
From politics to inner peace.
Wow.
And finally, it lands in our modern lives. Contemporary scholars like Fu Perong connect it right back to us. Yes, issuing few commands is political, but it's also a daily skill.
How so?
He quotes that proverb, the more words, the deeper the misunderstanding. Silence, economy of words, is powerful. He talks about burning out from overwork. Life's energy is precious. Don't squander it on endless talk. Conserve it, like a deep, slow river that shapes landscapes over time.
So it's practical advice for emails, meetings, relationships.
Totally. A true master of communication knows when not to talk. Let actions, presence, calm, persistence speak. It's not about having the last word. It's about knowing when silence is the most powerful word.
It's incredible how these few lines ripple outwards, from a king's actions to cosmic law to how I handle a stressful meeting. Exactly. It all circles back to that core truth. Fierce, forced, imbalanced actions. They're fragile, fleeting, calm, harmonious forces arising from inner balance. Those endure. That's true sustainability.
Okay, that principle of sparing speech makes so much sense for sustainability. But how does that connect to the bigger picture, that sympathetic resonance? Which leads us to question two. How does this law of oneness actually create that universal resonance?
Perfect transition. So after sparing in speech, Laozi lays down this deeper law of interaction. Those who follow the way are one with the way, virtue with virtue, loss with loss. And the universe delights in welcoming all three.
Right, that welcoming part is key.
It is, and it paints a very realistic picture. The Tao isn't some kindly god only handing out good stuff. Its operation includes gain and loss, challenges and opportunities. Following the way isn't a guarantee of an easy life.
No false promises.
Right. It's an objective, cool-headed view. It shows you how to align with reality, not escape it. That impartiality is crucial for understanding oneness.
So how do the ancients explain this, like, attracts-like idea? What was the logic?
Early on, they used that core idea of resonance, or correspondence, straight from the I Ching. Things of the same kind attract, voices of the same tone resonate.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Basically, yeah, positive energy out, positive back. Chaos out, chaos back. They used common sense examples. A dragon's call brings clouds, a tiger's roar brings wind. More simply, water flows downhill to wet places, fire spreads to dry things.
Obvious natural laws.
Seen as undeniable, and they applied it directly. Ruler to people, individual to Tao. What you are, the energy you project, your fundamental vibration attracts a matching result. Trustworthy leader, people follow. Untrustworthy, they leave. It's presented as a natural law, like gravity. That's the law of resonance. You create your echo.
Makes sense. How did philosophers like Wang Bi build on that?
Wang Bi made a brilliant philosophical connection back to chapter 22. Having little, one can gain. Having much, one is confused.
Linking the chapters again.
Yeah, for him. Following the way is the highest, formless, non-active, becoming one with Tao, true emptiness. Following virtue is practicing having little, simplicity, few desires, so you become one with gain, accumulating real substance. Following loss is practicing having much, greed, overreaching, so you become one with loss, confusion, failure. The universe just gives you the outcome matching your chosen path. Cosmic accounting.
It sounds a bit harsh, though. What about people who are genuinely trying but still face setbacks? Is it always their fault?
That's a great question, and Suche offered a wonderfully compassionate reframing. He started with Confucius. If one is truly set on humaneness, one will be without evil.
So intention matters.
Deeply. Suche argued that if your core motivation, your will, is good, aligned with humaneness, your actions can't be fundamentally bad. So for a sincere practitioner, there's no ultimate loser. Even if you experience outward loss in terms of your inner journey, your self-cultivation, you still gain something valuable in terms of the way and virtue.
So the real loss is giving up on the path itself.
Precisely. The inner gain continues even amidst outer difficulty. It shifts the focus. And then Zen Master Hanshin takes it somewhere else, entirely demonstrating the ultimate flexibility of the sage. This is pretty radical.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Hanshin says one with way, one with virtue, one with loss aren't different people. They're different faces. The same sage shows depending on the situation.
Whoa, so the sage can be one with loss.
He provocatively suggests the sage can even be one with the worldly, with immoral people, not by endorsing them, but by having transcended labels. Complete inner freedom, non-attachment. He quotes Zhuangzi. If they call me an ox, I respond as an ox. If they call me a horse, I respond as a horse.
So the sage doesn't care about labels.
Doesn't hold on to, I am a sage. You label him, he just goes with it, meets you where you are, like that physics professor playing with blocks with kindergartners. It's wisdom and compassion, skillful means, adapting without losing your center. Radical flexibility.
That's mind-bending. And all this ancient stuff connects to modern ideas, too.
Oh, absolutely. The modern psychological echoes are striking. It connects directly to things like the law of attraction and confirmation bias. It reframes destiny not as something external, but as a result of the resonance we create internally. That's revolutionary.
So the law of attraction. Lao Tzu basically described it thousands of years ago.
In its classical form, yes. Those who are one with virtue, virtue delights in welcoming them. It's not just wishful thinking, though. It's about how your dominant thoughts, emotions, beliefs act like magnets, shaping your receptivity and actions.
So being on a virtue frequency, clarity, peace, actually creates the conditions for success.
It makes you the kind of person who naturally attracts or creates those conditions. It's about being the change, not just wanting it.
And confirmation bias, how does that fit?
From cognitive science, yeah. If you're one with loss, negative, fearful, your brain unconsciously looks for evidence to confirm that. See? Things always go wrong. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And one with virtue.
You become more sensitive to opportunities, positive feedback solutions. You notice the good stuff more, reinforcing a positive cycle. We literally see what we expect to see. It's a powerful loop based on our inner frequency.
This whole idea really shifts the power, doesn't it? It puts control back in our hands.
Totally. It moves control from the outside world, fate, chance, other people firmly back to our inner world. We're not victims, we're co-creators.
Yeah.
Constantly choosing our frequency, shaping the universe's response. It's empowering, but also a big responsibility.
Yeah, no kidding.
So summarizing this resonance law, early commentators saw it as like attracts like. Wang Bi saw it as having little is gaining. Su Che brought in compassion inner gain despite outer loss. Han Xin showed the sage's ultimate flexibility. Modern psychology sees law of attraction and confirmation bias.
Different angles, same core truth.
Exactly. Our inner state isn't private, it's a broadcast signal. And the universe, totally neutral, just echoes our song back to us.
Which leads us perfectly to the final piece, the linchpin. How is insufficient trust the root of it all? That final line. If one's trust is insufficient, one will not be trusted. Laozi repeats that line, right?
He does. It's also at the end of chapter 17 about the best kind of leader. It's not accidental. It's a huge flashing sign. As soon as a leader loses that sparing speech, gets meddlesome, forces things, trust collapses instantly.
So what determines if we can align with the Tao with this resonance?
Well, first, on the interpersonal level, it's about trust between people, family, community, politics. A ruler lacks integrity, doesn't trust the people or the process. They get distrust back. That's resonance in politics, cause and effect.
Okay, basic integrity, but there's a deeper level.
Oh, yeah. The deeper meaning is faith in the Tao itself, a fundamental belief. Do you really trust that being sparing in speech, humble, non-contentious, actually works in the real world?
Or do you just pay lip service to it?
Exactly. Are you secretly ready to resort to force when things get tough? If you're skeptical, if you see it as just a nice idea, not a profound truth, you can never be one with the way.
And you won't experience the way welcoming you.
You won't get that effortless flow. Someone who deeply trusts the Tao sees setbacks as temporary. Their conviction gets stronger, not weaker. They have unwavering faith in the underlying order.
That's a deep level of trust.
And Han Xin, the Zen master, takes it even deeper. Self-trust. He says the sage's quiet effectiveness, that sparing speech, comes from genuine self-trust.
Not worldly confidence, like I can do this.
No, much deeper. It's trust born from knowing their own fundamental nature is one with the Tao, with universal truth. That inner truth has power. Others just feel it, trust them without words.
And the opposite, the talkative person.
Han Xin says much speech, endless arguing, comes from a lack of self-trust. They're insecure inside, so they need constant external validation, convincing others, building themselves up with noise. The more empty inside, the more talking. Powerful insight.
It really is. The swimming analogy you mentioned earlier fits perfectly here, too.
Right. Coach says, relax, trust the water, it'll hold you. That's the Tao.
If your trust is insufficient.
You stiffen up, struggle, thrash around, trying to force it, and guess what? You sink. The water, the Tao, is impartial. Your outcome depends entirely on your trust. Your belief creates the result. It's that feedback loop again.
So this law of resonance, driven by trust, it runs through everything. Politics, self-cultivation, just life.
Every level. It's a living principle. We've unpacked a lot intellectually, which is great, but wisdom needs practice, right? Otherwise, it's just theory. A nice idea.
Yeah, a castle in the air. So how do we actually use this? How do we, just regular people in our busy lives, consciously tune our frequency?
That's the crucial next step, moving from theory to a concrete, actionable life experiment you can try right now.
Let's do it. It's one thing to understand, another to really integrate it, feel it in our bones. So we cooked up a simple exercise for you to try this week. To consciously calibrate your frequency. Feel that sympathetic resonance. We're calling it the frequency invitation exercise.
Right. The principle is simple, straight from Lao Tzu. The universe echoes our frequency. One with the way becomes one with the way. But daily life, we get pulled into negativity, right? Anxiety, anger.
Yeah, it's contagious sometimes.
Totally. We end up broadcasting those negative vibes without even realizing it, attracting more chaos. This exercise is about taking back the remote control.
Instead of just reacting and catching someone else's bad mood.
We consciously choose and send out a new frequency invitation, calm, clarity, whatever we need. We invite that into our own experience. It's about actively managing your internal weather.
Okay, how does it work? What are the steps?
So this week, when you feel that pull argument at home, stressful email, someone complaining nonstop and dragging you down, try this.
Step 1. Notice the invitation. Just pause. Before reacting, before spiraling, just acknowledge it internally. Silently say, invitation to the anger channel, or anxiety, or complaint. Just see the invitation for what it is. No judgment. It's just a signal.
Step 2, switch the channel. Take a breath. That pause is key, create space. Then ask, okay, if I could choose, what channel do I want to be on? Calm, clarity, compassion, patience. Pick the inner state you truly desire right then. Make a conscious choice.
Step 3. Send the new invitation. Now, for a few seconds, use your body and mind to actively embody that new channel. Chose calm. Slow your breathing, relax your shoulders, soften your gaze. Chose clarity. Imagine bright light clearing your thoughts. The goal isn't to suppress the negative feeling, but to actively, genuinely broadcast the new frequency. Send the new invitation out.
Step 4, feel the response. Now, from that new inner state, look again at the situation or person. The external circumstances might not have changed instantly, but notice how your inner resonance feels different. You've changed the signal you're sending. Observe how the situation feels, how you interact with it differently. You'll start to feel the subtle shift, the echo changing.
It's like tuning your instrument right in the middle of the orchestra playing.
Exactly. It helps you experience firsthand that you're not just a passive receiver, you're an active creator shaping the response you get. And suddenly, those golden phrases from Lao Tzu aren't just philosophy.
They become real tools, tangible wisdom for everyday life.
That's the goal.
So wow, what we've really landed on today is this universal law, incredibly fair, but also kind of severe in its impartiality. Life is an echo chamber.
Whatever frequency you broadcast, whatever song you sing deep down, that's the reality you get back.
And the way isn't just about blessings and smooth sailing.
No, it includes gain and loss, advance and retreat, challenges and opportunities. Following the way doesn't mean no difficulties.
But it gives you that objective view, that alignment with reality.
So you can meet challenges with the right frequency. It's profound, unvarnished wisdom, no false promises.
Which is why all that violent, over-the-top stuff, the blistering wind and torrential rain actions,
born of imbalance, force, desperation.
they look impressive, maybe grab attention.
But they don't last. What endures is the quiet, the sparing in speech, acting from alignment, calm, like the tide.
So the choice becomes incredibly stark, doesn't it? The script of your life is written by the frequency you choose right now.
As the text says, one last time, so simply.
Those who are one with virtue, virtue delights in welcoming them. Those who are one with loss, loss delights in welcoming them. Choose virtue, gain, quiet endurance. The way welcomes you. Choose loss, chaos, fleeting outbursts. The way welcomes you into that too.
The choice is always yours.
Okay, so we've just spent all this time resolving, theoretically to be one with the way, embrace the quiet power, spare the speech, align with virtue.
Sounds good on paper.
Right. But the second we step back into daily life, don't you just feel that pull, that anxiety, that feeling that, no, to get anywhere, to achieve anything, I could try harder, run faster, stand taller, push more.
The society screams that at us constantly. Strive, prove, achieve.
Exactly. Well, buckle up, because in the very next chapter, Lao Tzu takes aim at all our positive, upwardly mobile striving.
And gives it maybe the most ruthless review in philosophical history.
Seriously. He starts by just dousing our efforts in cold water with these metaphors that are almost funny in their honesty. One who stands on tiptoe cannot stand firm. One who stretches his legs wide cannot walk.
Think about it. Straining on tiptoe to see farther, look taller, you're just wobbly, off balance.
Taking huge, exaggerated strides to seem impressive. You probably just pulled something or you're wasting energy. It's like, sit down already.
It's such a brutal image of futility.
And it gets worse. Not only is it ineffective, he says all that showing off, self-promotion, desperate pushing, it actually triggers this physical discomfort in a way, a visceral negative reaction.
And then he lands the final blow. This metaphor for ambition, hard work, discipline, the very things we praise, he says in the eyes of the Tao, they are like,
Get ready for it. Leftover food and cancerous growth?
oh,
I mean,
yes.
leftover food and cancerous
Yeah.
growth? Why? Why is our cherished ambition just nauseating leftovers and tumors to Laozi? How wrong are we when we're desperately standing on tiptoe?
What deep obsession is he trying to shatter with that heavy hammer?
That's what we need to face next time. We'll dive into Laozi's fiercest critique of the try-hard. It's going to be challenging, for sure.
But probably incredibly liberating, too.
Definitely. Join us then for another deep dive.